All right. Welcome to the show, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us while we've been getting our live feed ready. We are here at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park. You can see the race course behind us. It's going to be an incredible day of racing. We got, it was a little cool this morning, but the sun has come out and let us know that it's time to race because it is warming up down here. Bree, how are you today?
I gotta say, I was a little concerned about how cold it was going to be this morning, and I came layered up, and now I'm wishing I had a tank top on.
Yeah.
So it's a beautiful day here at Dirty Turtle. We are in Bedford, Kentucky.
That's correct.
This is the Holley EFI Northern Round number 2 presented by Venom Shifters, and we are just about ready to get things kicked off.
Now, on Fridays, we run our UTV Stock and UTV Unlimited Cup Series. This course, as compared to some of the bounty courses that you've seen in the past, it'll be some of the same hills, but a little bit easier options, and this is more designed for speed. This is more designed for drivers to give a little bit of their endurance-style technical driving. So a little bit of a different flavor from today and tomorrow. Tomorrow, obviously, the bouncers are going to be running. It's going to be an awesome day because we have new hills, or we have modifications to hills that haven't been ran.
Opposite side,
right,
where we have normally run.
Right
down here on the hills. I was actually a little confused when I pulled up down here. Like, there's no tape or banners out there, and then I looked over.
Yeah, so I did the same thing. I dropped down into the valley and noticed that I had to ask where the production trailer was. So in the past few years, if you're familiar with Dirty Turtle or you've seen the videos, they have normally run the really big shale rock undercut ledges with multiple ledges in each singular line. Today we are running the other side of the park, or I guess the ravine, really. And it's a little bit different, tighter woods. Like, without a doubt, the trees are going to be a big factor. And also, this was a joke that was made earlier. This is one of the few times that we've been to Dirty Turtle and it hasn't rained, but Clyde is going to make them drive through the creek.
But we're still going through the creek.
Yeah, still going to get wet today. So
you mentioned that it's like a tighter course in here.
Absolutely.
Today. So my dad and I brought our 4-seat Razor.
Yes.
Turbo 1000 4-seat, lovingly named Big Booty Judy. We'll call her Judy.
She is a big girl.
It was going to be her first time on the race course today. We thought, we'll just try the stock class. It might be fun. We've never raced the Razor. I rolled her over during pre-running, and really why we brought Judy and also Dad's mini bouncer, the Patriot, was to run the track tonight.
Yes.
Which Jesse has got a little, grudge match, kind of unofficial time trials on the track. So we're going to save the Razor.
Yep.
Dad's racing the Patriot in the Unlimited class. So that'll be the first time the Patriot's ever been raced. You guys might have seen it, pictures floating around Facebook. It's a little different. It's an interesting little build he and a friend did a few years ago. And but yeah, so we're saving Judy for the track tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Jesse, tell us what we're gonna be doing tonight. Just
yeah.
for fun.
So while we're waiting to get ready here, Racing on the Rocks will be putting on its first officially unofficial, definitely not a race, time trial series. But back to NRA stuff. This is a great view of our pits. Obviously, we've got a beautiful camera shot here. We've got drone pilots out. We have an outrageous turnout. I think we're going to be running 60 passes today. So if I'm not mistaken, between drivers and between one hill and hill number 2 as well, they'll be running 60 times today. So we got a lot of racing. You can see that attendance is really high from the racers, and we have plenty of spectators out here as well. So it's going to be an awesome time to race on this course. But as Bree was mentioning just briefly ago, we will actually be racing immediately following this race. So if you're at home, if you're at work, and you can get here quickly, after this race, we will be doing the officially unofficial Racing on the Rocks time trials. Right. And basically, we're going to go out totally unofficial, totally not for any serious competition. Just for fun. But a lot of racers are going to come out. We're going to run the short course here at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park.
Well, and you can't come to Dirty Turtle and not appreciate having their short course track out there. It's one of the few parks that does have something like that.
Absolutely. And not, some parks claim to have a short course. Dirty Turtle has a legitimate race course built into their park. It is extremely well groomed. I was on the phone with the park owner earlier this week, and they started on Tuesday grading the race course for us, and they've had no shortage of rain here. It looks like it's dried up a little bit. The hills that we'll be racing on here shortly, they're a little more wet than the other side because of the tree coverage and things like that, but I can tell you that the short course is prime for some racing.
We don't know if we're going to be live yet.
There's potential.
You guys let us know. Do you want us to go live? It won't be from the trailer. We don't have any way to do that, but we could get someone's phone out there on the observation deck next to the track, and that might be an option. So do you guys want to watch our officially unofficial time trials on the track tonight? Yeah,
and one of the most beautiful things about this park is that it is so spectator friendly. There is a spectator area of the short course, and then there's also an observation deck. It's very likely that our live feed will be coming from that observation deck, so you won't be able to see all of the race course, but you'll be able to see quite a bit. It's still to be determined how many racers are going to be there, but I'm a big fan of endurance racing.
Jesse and I will be there.
That's right.
Jesse and I will race each other.
If it's just me versus Bree, it'll be a perfect
That'll
match.
be out there too. Well, we've got at least 3 people.
Yeah, absolutely. But you guys can hear that we are getting started up here in the woods, and it sounds like we may have the first driver off the line.
All right, and if my list is correct, this is Curtis Lemon.
Much all the way to the end.
Once I get a better view, I'll be able to say for sure. Now that I actually attempted to pre-run this course, I can talk a little bit about that end of it. It's a great course. Start out through the starting gate, make a big wide loop down, kind of crossing over the Lazy River, as I'm calling it, the creek. Make a nice long run through the Lazy River. And then for a stock class, they are going to be turning and going up this hill. That's where I tipped over. And Judy.
Yeah.
Oops.
So I will say that this is Adam Kenneth, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, he was a late addition.
And this, if you're familiar with, the rock racing scene, Ultra 4, whatever it may be, this is actually James Cantrell's old Ultra 4 car. So this car has been tested and tried on a number of different courses around the country. But Adam is out here. I saw that he actually raced this car at King of the Hammers, and he's out here on the East Coast having a little bit of fun with it. So very exciting. Drone footage from way above the canopy, and I think that as the day continues to go on, we'll get our cameras in all of the correct places so we can get the best angles for our race course. As the wind picks up here at Dirty Turtle, you can probably see the majestic hair flow, probably some dirt flying. It is going to be an interesting day. We're kind of flip-flopping between heat, wind, cool air, hot air. It's a little bit of everything here. How you holding up over there?
Well, we'll be getting a ponytail pretty soon. Adam's time was a 79.096. He was our first driver of the day. This is our Rocklife UTV stock class. So if you're just joining us, we are just getting things kicked off here. We got, unless we had another late entry that I don't know of, Curtis Lemon
should be next.
Be on the line.
That's right.
Well, we will all find out together.
Now, this is my first time actually coming to this park, and I have to say it's pretty unique.
What's your first impression?
First impression, it's unique. I haven't had the opportunity to kind of think and nail it down to just a single phrase.
All right,
you come in and
Gary.
the short course is massive. It is, call it a short course if you want. It's like a long course type thing. But you basically follow a trail and you dip right down into race course. So this is on the smaller side of the parks, but having such a massive short course and then instantly going to incredible race hills, this is really a great place for hosting a race at. It's been very, very cool to come see some of the obstacles I've seen for years in videos. These are serious bad boy hills.
All right, Scott Gary. I think I got that last name correct. Was another one of our late additions to the UTV, the Rocklife stock class. Let's see where he is there.
Looks like he's having a little bit of maybe a missed turn there.
It is a pretty sharp turn. And if somebody did not pre-run, that might take them by surprise coming around that corner.
Absolutely. And in a lot of our buggies, like the unlimited cars that you'll see today, they're all running a spool in the front end. And what that does is that essentially limits your ability to steer because it's locked up the entire time. So I think that hairpin turns like that will be an issue for the unlimited class. How cool is it to go flying through that creek? Wow!
Scott is making short work of this.
Now, obviously, that's a 72-inch wide machine. I don't know if that's the perfect machine for these tight wood sections, but man, Scott is really, he's not afraid to drive it hard.
Shout out to Lucas from Eagle Eye Productions. On a course like this without drone coverage, you guys wouldn't be seeing all that much, so super grateful to have him out there. Looks like Scott did get a flag.
So we're just getting a time here for Scott. It sounds like through our race radios that Scott actually hit a flag. Now, normally I believe that's a 15-second penalty. It is 15 seconds here, correct?
30 seconds.
30 seconds, excuse me. It's a 30-second penalty today.
So that is a 109.563 for Scott.
Now, I'll say this too. You can look behind us. The NRRA is definitely taking advantage of their flag budget. There's a lot of flags out here today. Now, that's not only for representing our wonderful sponsors that help us get out here and race, but that also is how drivers can tell where the course is and where the course isn't. So a lot of times that you'll hear a driver run over a flag or what have you, they're just being a little wild, going a little too fast, and they just happen to run into a flag. So
yeah, and the flags are also to make sure not only that nobody's cutting any corners on the course or anything, but also for areas that the drivers need to make sure they're in control, that will be near spectator areas.
Yes.
Make sure no one's ripping through too wild anywhere. So just to make sure everybody's watching what they're doing. That's what the flags are for and why there's a penalty for them.
Absolutely. And this course is really well marked off, especially for the spectators. I know that there's tire barriers, there's an actual fence barrier, and there's tape marking too, because
there's a nice mesh fence.
Yeah. So one of the things that's really cool about this race course and is very unique is spectators can actually be pretty much right on top of the hill. And they can do that because the creek is actually below us. If you see this nice yellow tape right about there, the creek is down there, and the drivers can come through, and the spectators can be really right on top of racing here.
So this is Curtis Lemon now.
Correct. I think we have reached the top of our regular entry list. Now, if I recall correctly, Curtis Lemon typically races in a Pro XP. And just my eagle eye view here, there is that Pro XP come ripping around the corner.
This is his third race with us
this
season?
Yeah, he was at Windrock, Wildcat, and this race here. Man, Polaris needs to hire us and use those as promos. That is a beautiful picture of that Polaris Pro XP.
Look at that shot coming through the lazy river.
I could really use a lazy river. I'm thinking after tonight.
Was a lot more difficult trying to take a four-seater of it than we thought it would be, and we didn't have any of the momentum. Obviously, we had just rolled over at the bottom of that hill. They tipped us back up, and we tried to continue on. But yeah, these guys are making it look easy, but that hill one, as always, is more steep and rocky. There's a bit of a rock ledge through the middle. It's not showing up on camera real well, but these guys are making it look easy.
Absolutely.
And if you're just joining us, this is the Holley EFI Northern Round number 2, presented by Venom Shifters. We are at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park in Bedford, Kentucky. We are 3 drivers in, or on our 3rd driver right now, for the Rocklife Off-Road UTV stock class.
So we're going to get a time here for Curtis Lemon.
90.302.
90.302
for Curtis Lemon. Our current fastest time is Adam Kennetts with a 79.096.
That's a pretty good gap. That's a pretty good gap. I'm curious, this being a longer course, what do you think the fastest time will be? We've only got 3 times. I know it's a little too early to tell, but I'm thinking that we can get
Man, we've
sub
got
1
James
minute.
Cantrell on the list today. We've got Wade, Good, Paul Wolf, Brandon Davis. We got a lot of drivers.
We do.
Still to go.
And we also have drones everywhere. I'll mention this too. There is a multitude of drones flying above, around all of us. So if you catch one of us looking off into space, it's not we're not wondering.
Make sure we're not about to be attacked by a hive of bees.
Fearful of the beehive.
Somebody should name their drone company that. Beehive.
The Beehive. That'd be good.
Drone service. I don't know. Wow, that's bright. All right,
Yeah,
back with the glasses. Never mind. I can't see the screen. If y'all catch me doing this weird librarian thing, it's because these polarized glasses, the screen is totally black. So.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a changing weather situation here pretty much by the minute. So glad to be here, though.
All right, Taylor, I believe we've got a driver on the course. Kai Clothier, I think. There he is. Kai and Curtis Lemon, I believe, are friends and they've become racing together, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
The last couple times.
Yep. If I recall correctly, I'm not 100% sure if that was Kai. Kai's Pro XP is black.
I think he had a lemon.
Yeah, it was
lemon fab.
yes.
Chassis.
Yes. Yeah, it was
We'll find out.
Yeah, we will find out. But either way, a
Okay.
quick run there. There we go.
All right, guys. I think we have a drone down.
So just
All right.
a correction, that was Casey Howell on course.
713.
87.713 for Casey Howell.
And we are trucking right along through our Rocklife Off-Road UTV stock class.
All right, I think we might have had a drone go down. We lost a camera view, so that's why you guys had to come back and look at us. We lost 2? Oh, no.
I have 1 camera.
Oh, no.
So we're,
Do we need to tell them to hold up a minute?
No, they're back up now.
All right.
so we had a little intermission there with the cameras. We had a couple of them go down, but we are back
They all decided
to
to
full force.
take a break at the same time.
All right,
That's
got
right.
Dan Carter on the line. Dan Carter.
All right, Dan Carter
Danger
is
Dan.
on the line.
Now, if you haven't seen Dan since last week, Dan has actually made one of the most serious upgrades that you can make to any racer. He has added a mustache to his face.
I was wondering where you were going to go with that.
It is a combination of.
I did notice the mustache.
It's a combination of a film star look, a Jeff Gordon look, and it's a great combination for Dan. I'll say that, and hopefully it adds 20 horsepower because
I'm sure.
it's going to be
Probably
a great
more
day
like
of racing.
23,
That's
yeah.
if I had to guess, that'd probably be what I'd put my money on.
Dan Carter also has. I like to always give him props for having some of the most fun merch designs of any of our drivers.
Absolutely.
Lots of good colors, metallic, good designs. I appreciate that kind of stuff. You
Yeah,
know?
and-
I got
and-
a lot of black T-shirts in my closet. Like, it's nice to have someone with some creative design. So
Yeah, and
props to Dan and
the-
Jody or whoever comes up with it.
Yeah, and well, I think Big Hill Media designed his most recent
Okay.
shirt, and
They did a good job.
this year's shirt is like a '90s Rugrats theme, and it is
That must be why we like it.
awesome. Yeah, right. Just
90s
hits us
kids.
right in the feels.
All right. Speaking of Dan, there he is making his way around that loop. He's about to drop back in. Oh, through the rad flow suspension section first.
Now, those are actual man-made kind of alternating whoops. It's not like chevrons or anything like that.
He's
But
trying to stay out of the lazy river. Yeah, that rad flow section with a 4-seater, I can say a skid plate, man.
now, I'll say this too. Yeah, a skid plate. I'm sure you guys were having a heck of a time, but having your shocks tuned in a section like that, it makes all the difference.
And there's that ledge that you guys heard me talking about. It doesn't look like much on camera, but you just got to trust me. It is. 'Cause I tried.
if it's Stop and Danger Dan, it's obviously a little more to it than it looks like. And
I think this hill could be drying out a little bit. It was slick. Only Wade, Good, and then me were the only people that had been on it when we were trying to pre-run earlier. So
now let me ask you this. They're coming straight out of the creek onto that hill. Do you think that we'll see more water get pulled up onto it, or do you think that it'll continue to dry out just a little bit?
It's about halfway up the hill, so.
Right.
And I believe only the stock class is running up that hill.
Now, I will mention this, that the stock class was planned to run a different hill for Hill 2, if I'm not mistaken. They're going to continue to run that portion of the hill for Hill 2. But the portion of the hill that was taken out of Hill 2, it was, in my opinion, it was either as hard or a little harder than the unlimited option.
That's what we were thinking when we were looking at it as well.
It was pretty impressive.
It kind of, not gonna lie, played a little bit into our decision to save the RZR for tonight's track race.
Absolutely.
Looking at that hillside. But you know what? Paul Wolf, as kind and sweethearted as he is, went ahead and rolled over his Can-Am while he was pre-running too, just to make me feel better.
And one of the
Isn't that nice?
It is.
Just to make me feel better.
Because I'll be honest with you.
That's what I like to think anyway.
He picked up quite a bit of plastics out of the creek, and one of the worst things that can happen to a driver, as he rolled over, the key, so Can-Am systems, they use like a unique kind of key, right? It's not like a standard, turn and crank type thing. All Can-Ams are push button start, and they use this kind of like claw and ball thing where the key is actually something that sits over like the ball. He lost his key in the creek, guys. As soon as he flipped over, that key came off of the ignition system, and they had to do some fishing with a magnet. They had to build a dam and sweep out some water to get Paul Wolf his key back for his unlimited buggy. So a little bit of humor this morning during pre-running.
But luckily he found it, because there he is out on the course. Let's hope he's got a little better luck this time than he did with that pre-running.
Now there's Paul Wolf coming through the Lazy River. Now you can see there's some plastics that fell off that car.
We got a lot going on.
That's rough. That works.
You didn't need those plastics. That was slowing him down.
Those plastics are what keep him in the stock class.
61.568. 61.568. Paul Wolf.
All right, that's a 61.568 for Paul. Still need to get Dan Carter's time for you guys, so hold on for that.
And I'll say this too: if Paul Wolf is, losing plastic on a stock class run, it's pretty gnarly. This is a guy who's always super quick, usually very safe with his machines in terms of keeping them out of trees. So interesting weekend to see Paul Wolf not only flip over in pre-running, but then
I feel better about my choice to save Judy.
Yeah. I know I had reached out to Bree earlier this week when we were discussing our the Racing on the Rocks unofficial official race, and earlier this week asking her if she wanted to race with us and whatnot, and she had reached out to Clyde and asked if a 4-seat buggy would be adequate for the stock hills. And of course, Clyde was, of course,
I asked
it's
him
great.
if he knew what hills we were racing yet, and could a 4-seater do it. And he's like, "No, I don't, but yeah, I can do it."
Yeah. So
okay.
when Bree pulled up to the park, there was a decision made.
Mm-hmm. All right, Dan Carter's time was a 97.951, and this is Brandon Davis out on the course. He is into the Lazy River.
He is going for an absolute ride, too. I don't know if you saw that, but he slammed on the brakes, and he just kept on going.
So nope, there's that ledge again. There it is.
I'm not sure that you can hear it at all through our microphones because we're probably the closest microphone to that hill, but those tires on that wet rock are like it's an indescribable
They're
sound.
working. They're working.
They're just thudding for traction. It's a really, I love that sound. You know my feelings about tires. You know, like that good Moab squeal and a wet rock.
Jesse's got a thing for tires.
Yeah, the Moab squeal and the wet rock like thumping. Just tells me my rig's working right.
72.114.
72.114 for Brandon Davis.
All right, so right now, Paul Wolf with a 61.5 sitting in the lead, now followed by Brandon Davis with a 72, and then Adam Kinnitz with a 79. Those are our top three currently. If you're just joining us, we are about halfway through the Rocklife UTV stock class here at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park. This is the Holley EFI Northern Round number 2, presented by Venom Shifters.
All right,
And
got Will Stewart on the line.
is on the
Will
line.
Stewart.
An old name to rock bouncing
Yeah, I
is
haven't
back
seen him around
here
in a
at the NRRA. Will actually just recently sold his rock bouncer going postal. So he went out naturally, had to get back in the game, went out and got a Can-Am. I know he's got a cage on it, and I think after that it's pretty much bone stock. So really cool to see Will out here in a little bit of a different machine. Will obviously a super veteran in the rock bouncing world, and excited to see him in the UTV space for sure. Now you can kind of tell, I can tell you that those shocks haven't been worked on, and that Can-Am seemed to soak up that rad flow section a little easier for sure. But he is getting bathed in that laser nut river.
Splash zone down there.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to come out of this with some soggy fire suits, let's just say. Just not the nicest feeling in the world.
Woo! Now Will Stewart's not afraid of a beatdown.
I know the feeling.
That guy is not afraid to beat on a machine, so here we go. I'm expecting something big here from Will Stewart.
Tiffany, ain't that the truth? There he goes. And it looked like we had a few people saying that they did want us to try and go live tonight for the track racing, the short course racing. We'll see what we can do. We're going to have to see how that all shakes out and how many drivers commit to actually show up and come down there tonight, and
so
who we can get to hold the phone and go live for us during the race.
The race started off as a buddy thing, and as it quickly evolved into something a little bit bigger. So we're trying to get something a little bit more formal set up between now and then. Hopefully we can bring some great coverage of that race. And while you're sitting here and we're waiting on a time, it's a great opportunity to thank Laser Nut for these incredible, absolute work of art trophies here. Of course, you can see on there, this is the Northern Rock Racing Series Holley EFI, and this is the Rocklife Off-Road UTV stock class.
All right, Will had a time of 100.870. I think we're trying to get our camera issues sorted out. One of them's struggling today. James Cantrell is next on my list.
Let me tell you something about James if you don't know it.
Tell us something, Jesse.
James will come out of this woods with less than 2 doors every time. It doesn't matter. Well, I actually take it back, because James has now made a decision he should have made many years ago. His doors don't open. They are welded.
Dukes of Hazzard it.
That's right. He just completely took the whole door situation out of the problem, and he solved it by just having some hard doors in there. So James Cantrell, notorious for losing doors in just about every single race.
So if doors are hanging off now, we know something seriously went wrong.
Oh, yeah.
If anything's hanging off.
Absolutely. Now, James used to race bouncers, too. He used to race, if I'm not mistaken, it was the 427 Buffalo Ultra 4 car that he actually raced on the East Coast a lot. He's a Kentucky boy, so he is local to Dirty Turtle. I actually think he was out here last night doing some pre-running for our short course race.
That's not fair.
Now, I told you that, and James, if you go back and watch this, anybody that is Ultra 4 tagged or their name starts with James, they'll have a plus 30 seconds added to their time today.
Paul.
Or Paul
Or
Wolf.
Wade.
If you're over 300
if you've been
horsepower.
on a podium.
Yeah. If you're over 300 horsepower and been on a podium, you get a plus 30 seconds. Now, James's machine is a 72-inch wide Polaris Pro XP. He is always racing on behalf of Mad Ram 11. That's the race team that he represents, and James Cantrell out here making his way through the woods.
I think this is James' first race with us this season.
In this machine in particular as well. I know that James is pretty also notorious for waiting until the last minute to get things done. So recently at the Ultra 4 battle in the Bluegrass, James was getting his machine ready up until the very last day.
James Cantrell.
6'7.725 for James.
Quick time.
That is good enough for second place right now. Paul Wolf, man, with that smoking 61.5. Still in the lead now, followed by James with a 67 and Brandon Davis with a 72. Those are our top three currently. I think we've only got 2 drivers to go, possibly a third. Kai Clothier, either my list is out of order or he's not running today, so we shall see.
He was at the drivers meeting, and there was not a whole lot of time between now and then, so I would be hard-pressed to think that something didn't work out. And if it didn't work out, you hate to hear that for sure. Now, I'll give you a little fun factoid about James. James, I'm not sure if he just came wanting to play on the short course or what, but he is actually running stock Polaris wheels and tires, 29-inch Bighorns on some stock wheels. So he just took care of that course with, I would say, less than adequate parts for sure.
And got a second place time out of it.
It's James Cantrell.
For now.
And he came out with 2 doors.
Because I believe Wade
We still have Wade Good.
Wade Good is on the line.
We still
No.
have
Kai Clothier is on the line.
perfect
There it
timing.
is.
And also today we'll have Jamie Coldiron running for Clint Garrison.
Jamie, good to see him out here again.
Mr. Scott Goforth jumping his head in the trailer here to give us a nice hello. It's good to see ya. Come on up here. It's not on us. It's on the race course. So there's Kai's.
There's that lemon.
That's
fab.
it.
Yeah.
It's pretty iconic. So while we're watching Kai here, I've got Mr. Scott Goforth. Scott, what do you think of the hills and everything?
They look fun. They look really fun.
Are you? We'll wait for Kai to pass us here. Are you worried about any particular section, or you think you're going to gain some speed in one particular section?
If you guys watch closely, let's hope he
Absolutely.
doesn't do what I did earlier because it was in that exact spot
some
that
improvements.
I
We're gonna
was over.
All right.
Lucas is over here laughing at me.
Well, I'll tell you this too. So it looks like Kai's front end is not pulling. Front diff looks like it is not pulling whatsoever.
So we always say this. I've said it already. The hills or the cameras don't really do the hills justice, but this is it's a tricky spot. You're coming up out of the creek. You've got a little bit of a rock lip to climb up over, and then you can either go all the way around and circumnavigate that berm sort of hump coming down from the hill there, or jump up over it, which is what most, or I think all of the drivers have done so far. But it sets you up to kind of come into that hill a little wonky, and then there is that ledge right in the middle of the hill too.
It's the same berm that you bumped that's going to give you all the issues when you try to back up. And unfortunately, what you just said was, those drivers, they're kind of, to some degree, they're kind of jumping and airing out that little berm. We just saw Kai fall victim to that, unfortunately. A lot of times in a UTV, when the front end goes up and comes back down,
broken axle.
okay, it looks like it's just an axle, not a front diff, but when the front end comes down and you stay in the gas, if it's not, I'll be honest, if it's not an RCV Performance World's Strongest Axle in there, it's going to be a question if it's going to survive. So Kai Clothier, a little bit of an unfortunate finish for the DNF, either broken axle or front end, just a front differential, but I know that's not what he wanted. But while we were actually doing that, while Kai was running, Scott Goforth actually came up here and he was talking a little bit about how the hills said looks like it's going to be some fun. But right before he left and right as I took the microphone away, he said we've made a lot of changes to the buggy and we're going to have some fun tomorrow. So Scott Goforth is a regular and a huge supporter of this sport. So I'm excited to see what Scott's got locked in the box for us tomorrow.
Good to see him out here. It's been a while. Wade Good is on the line. Oh, no, he's on the course. Gotta take these glasses off so I can see what's happening.
No, it's all good. It's Wade Good. It's hard to stay in front of him. I'll say that.
Now, do we say that it's all good racing or all good racing? Because that's kind of trippy.
Whatever it is, I can tell you that he's got a passenger in there. I'm gonna put some money that is his fiance.
You think that's Mahaley?
Malia, right? Is that correct?
Mahaley.
Oh, that's not good.
And the Laser Nut Lazy River just struck hard.
Now, just from where I'm sitting right here, I'm going to go ahead and say that entire right side of that car, A-arms are ripped off the tabs of the frame. The front of that
was
car,
rough. We could hear that.
the front of that car is going to be in a really precarious spot. I can tell you that I also heard Mr. Wade Good try and turn that car, and there was immediate clicking. So steering rack's broken, all that kind of fun stuff.
So what he hit is there's, as you're coming up the creek bed, there's some rock ledges there, and one side had about this tall, I'd say, to go up over, and I think instead of kind of crawling up over, he just hit a bad spot where that ledge was taller there.
Yep.
And just, man, right into it.
And it looks like everyone is okay in the car there. I know we've got some eyes on them there, and I can tell you this: that is not the run that Wade wanted right there for
that's
sure.
the disappointed face.
Yeah.
We've all been there. If
Absolutely.
you've ever raced anything, you know what that feels like.
Absolutely, but I can tell you this too, just from the impact that we just heard.
That's a solid crunch.
That's an almost brand new machine. Let me tell you this: that machine is hurting. That machine is probably having some frame damage, things like that.
That's also a moment where you're glad you're wearing a Hans device for the driver.
Yeah, a well over 30-mile-an-hour stop instantly is never what you want to have.
Very sudden stop. I know Chris Hickman's out here somewhere. Oh, there he is, right there. Can you see him? There he is, right over your shoulder.
Right, he's the devil over my shoulder for sure.
Should we get him up here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Chris.
All right, we got Mr. Chris Hickman. How would you describe it? Probably the leader of the Good Racing team.
Oh yes.
If not the
you wanna come up here?
the supplier, perhaps. So what happened?
I was saying, where's Chris? I know he's here somewhere.
Wade and water and creek beds do not go together real well. And there's a
Has this
slight
been a common
ledge
theme?
on the far side, and for some reason he decided to hit the
He
ledge.
hit the tallest part of
The tallest
that ledge in the
part,
creek bed. Yeah.
kind of folded the front end on the passenger side up under the passenger side. So,
Are the A-arms still attached to the frame?
yeah, but it's bent the frame and all back. So
That's it's not what you want to hear.
no, but kind of makes it easier on what we're going to do with the buggy.
Hey, that's all right. Everybody okay in there?
Yeah, everybody's good. Just wonder what happened. He said
Yeah.
it's like it's the wall there. You hit.
I wouldn't have expected to hit that hard at that spot.
No, and with
we-
the
I mean,
tire
you
that
drove
we just
through there and you.
had a flat on the tire, and we
Yeah.
just plugged it. So and that's when he wants to hit the wall with. So.
I think it's probably gonna be flat again.
Sometimes it just happens.
Running before the hill climb, the unlimited. So hopefully that goes better for us.
Yep. Yeah, we will see him back
y'all.
out here pretty shortly, won't we?
Mr. Chris Hickman, you guys, always a good time when we get a chance to talk to him. So looks like, again, just a little bit of damage on that car, but it sounded to
little.
me like there's plans to turn that machine into a buggy. So sometimes a little nudge in the buggy direction comes by way of
Or
a
no
wreck.
other options.
That's right.
If you're gonna
That's
do
right.
some rebuilding anyway.
That's right. So I know that you have been in stock machines, like stock UTVs. You've had a rock bouncer. I think you've been in the Patriot buggy as well.
I've ridden in it.
Okay.
I haven't driven it. So the Patriot is a. Dad's the one to talk about it.
It's an
but
amalgamation of parts.
It started out as like 5 years ago. Dad and a friend had some leftover stuff around, and the buggy idea came around out of that. It's got a Honda Blackbird motor in it. And let's just say I don't drive stick real well on the road, even, let alone like racing.
So it's a
I'm
manual.
certainly not not confident enough in trying to drive it in a race setting.
Yeah.
It would take a lot of practice, and we just haven't had it out that much. It doesn't really have reverse.
Yeah.
Just like a electric weak
Yeah.
reverse. So
basically neutral.
Yeah, basically put it in neutral and hope it rolls. So it's a flat ground, slow reverse, if anything. So I've been trying to get him to bring it out for a couple years now, and it's just everybody's had those projects before where you got plans to add to it and do stuff, and it didn't happen, but I got him to bring it out here today. So he's going to give Jamie a run for his money.
What?
Dad
That's
and the
where the old
Patriot.
people go?
So Mr. Cold Iron here at the production booth. What do you think about what just happened there?
Rookies.
Rookies.
Mistake.
So
Look, not everybody makes it to the title of chief without some experience under their belt.
how are you going to prevent that from happening?
Hit it harder.
Oh, hit the wall harder.
Yes. If you can drive away like that,
He didn't hit it hard enough.
No, he should have finished in reverse. I mean, what was stopping him?
So-
I would say also go a little bit left. He hit the tallest part of that wedge.
Whatever. Maybe he just needs a bigger tire.
Maybe.
Possibly
I don't
so.
know.
So you're running the stock class as well, correct? You're not. Okay. You
I'm
were
running for Clint, Garrison, and the Unlimited.
okay. Now you're running Clint's buggy.
Yes.
What do you think about it? Because that's the old skeleton buggy.
sucks.
It sucks.
I can't even get in. I've been drinking Metamucil and Turbolax for a week. Still can't get in it. It's awful.
If it makes you feel better, I've been in that buggy before too, and it was not made for a
tight.
woman.
No,
Okay.
No,
Not
it
made
is
for
not.
thighs to fit into that.
No, it is not Fat Boy approved.
Oh, that's all right though. Performance-wise, how do you like it? Does it go for you?
I like it. It does have a hydraulic steering. It's weird. It's very weird. It feels like you're driving nothing.
So it's just you turn and it turns. There's no feedback.
You keep wanting to overdrive it.
Really?
It's strange to me. So
Very interesting.
We'll see how bad we screw up today.
Well, I wish you the best of luck.
Yeah.
Is there any particular section you're worried about? I mean, obviously we've been shown that there's more than one area that'll cause you a little bit of issues, but is this going to be a pretty smooth course?
It is. This is really a calm course for Dirty Turtle. I don't know what's wrong with them.
We were commenting on that earlier, that it seems like some of the extreme options have kind of been left for tomorrow for the bouncers.
Yeah.
Are you going to be running the Bounty Series tomorrow as well?
No.
Okay.
I got to get back. We've got Clint's a graduation for his woman today. And then tomorrow I got to be at one for mine.
Well, congratulations to Clint and yourself. Graduations are always a good time, right? The next step of life, right?
Yeah, sure. I thought you was running this. What happened?
Well,
So we're going to be doing some short course racing after this race. If you'd like to join us, you're more than welcome to. Take a couple laps around the track, and we're going to be counting some time. So what do you think about
That
that?
would be fun. It's Clint's buggy. I mean, it don't matter.
Hey, it's right. It's a rental.
Really?
so
Yeah,
I
I feel like Wade.
I pre-ran earlier. Turned the buggy over.
I didn't even see you
over
come
there.
through here.
I mean, it was just pre-running earlier. I've turned it over down there.
That's how fast she was going.
Yeah, it was such a blur. You didn't even see.
That's right.
And then we tried that hill, and it's a lot tougher than we thought it would be. And we want to save the buggy for tonight. So, yeah, I was like, all right. Clyde told me this was a stock 4-seater could do this, and we're having second thoughts now. But Dad's going to run the Patriot in the Unlimited. So,
I almost
And then
climbed
we're
the
gonna run
9
the
and
short
ran
course.
the full body, but I think I'll drive it home tonight.
Sounds like a good idea. Bring that full body to the short course.
Yeah.
We're going to have a
Yeah,
good time.
there you
Be
go.
good on
Now,
that.
I'll say this. We're going to be running the short course immediately following, and then at 7 p.m. they're going to be doing beater races on the short course as well. So I know James has brought another
we might
Jeep
have
Cherokee.
some beaters to race once we get done with this in
It's
the
an-
short course.
It's an open class race for me, and the beaters can go right on after. And then I think at 8 o'clock tonight for the birthday bash, they're having a concert. So it's going to be a full night of
I
fun.
think you ought to have a beater class pulling a trailer with a razor on it.
I would like to see the
You know,
tabletop.
like the cars that pull boat.
Yeah, absolutely.
The amount of carnage on the course, I don't know.
I think high-speed lawnmowers would be great
Oh my
over the
gosh.
tabletop.
That would be good too.
We need
think it'd be
another
great.
ambulance for that.
That's right. That's right. We do have correct paramedics on staff or on site, so we're always ready for that. But are we just waiting for
I think
Bounty or
I
Unlimited?
think that's it. I had Clint down for the stock class, but
I don't think anyone's running for him today.
So yeah, that wraps up the Rocklife stock class. As far as I know, Clyde just about knocked down
It's a little.
our veranda here. Paul Wolf with a 61 was the fastest time for course 1, followed by James Cantrell with a 67, and then Brandon Davis with a 72. Those are your top 3 for Hill 1 for the Rocklife UTV stock class. And I believe we are doing some camera change-outs over here. And then we will be rolling into the RCV Performance UTV Championship Cup presented by CA Technologies, a.k.a. the Unlimited class.
Absolutely. Now, I'll add this, too. You've been kind of MIA this year. This is actually the first time I've gotten a chance to see you. Where you been?
I retired.
Retired? You're not allowed to do that in this sport.
I trail ride and turkey hunt
Where are you trail riding at?
everywhere. Actually, we're going to Tackett's Creek. It's coming weekend.
That's
We're
exciting.
down there for a few days.
That's exciting.
Been down there, so.
Where do you normally trail ride at?
Rush, Hollywood,
How's Hollerwood? We're going there this year, aren't we?
Yeah, they got really nice.
Really nice trails.
It's a really nice place.
Where's your favorite place to ride? If you had to pick one place in the entire country, where are you going to go ride?
I don't know. Windrock.
Windrock. Okay. I love Windrock too.
They do have
That's
good
my
trails.
big trips.
That's actually one of the few parks that I've been out on the trails. Normally we
Yes.
just come and race, and this is the only part that I see of the park, and then we load up and go home after. But Windrock has some great trails.
Absolutely.
Better man up there.
That's right.
And take a map with you.
Yeah, you can get very out of hand. I know that a lot of times we'll go TWRA land to Brimstone, Royal Blue, and all that, and there's hundreds of thousands of acres out there, and you can get lost, kind of have any kind of fun you want, but always really cool stuff to see out there. Have you ever been to Moab or the Hammers or anything out west?
I'd like to go to Moab though.
Let's plan a
I
trip.
just hate to drive out there and to drive back.
I thought it was a long drive here.
How far is it to you?
4.
4 hours.
You ain't even in shape yet.
That's right.
You need to stop
Right.
for fuel or a bathroom break.
I got some lunch.
You all have a good day. I'm gonna
Thank
go
you,
here.
Mr.
Bye,
Coldire.
Jamie.
As always, a great time when our racers come to spend a little bit of time with us.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Did you tell them about the giveaway stuff?
Yes. I have those in my pocket.
We just need to come up with some questions.
So while we are waiting for everything to get squared away here, we are waiting for our unlimited class to get lined up, get ready. As Bree mentioned earlier, I think that we're just waiting on our camera situation. I'm not sure if we had battery issues, connectivity issues, or what have you, but it looks like we're getting that sorted out, and we're going to bring you guys a little bit more coverage inside the woods.
Let's ask them. Wow, it gets so bright when the sun comes out. It's amazing. So you guys won't benefit from this, but you can still have fun of playing along. Sorry, question. We are doing a giveaway for the people that are here in person at the event, and we need some trivia questions. Do you guys have any fun trivia questions? It could be related to the series, to a driver, to a park, to a vehicle. I don't care. Just something fun to ask the crowd that is in here in person today to give away some merch. Again, I'm sorry, you don't get to benefit for it. It's for our crowd that's here today, but you can have fun and play along and help us come up with some questions if you want.
Absolutely, and this is something that we're going to start instituting from pretty much this point on. We know we have some excess merch, and we're ready to go ahead and share the wealth. So next time you guys come to a race, make sure you're
Share
ready.
the wealth.
Yeah.
I don't know if I like that phrase.
Well, when it comes to T-shirts, I think we'll be okay, but otherwise, maybe
allowable
not.
for merch.
That's right. But next time you come to a race, make sure you guys are listening, because I think we're going to do this more than once.
Speaking of next time we have a race, we're
got a
having a
little
bit
bit
of
of
a
gap.
break after this.
Yeah.
Like a bit of a break.
Next on I don't know if it's the
Let's see.
pure race series schedule, but next up, if I'm not mistaken, is actually going to be Visions.
Yes, Visions in July, and then as far as our NRA series,
It's August,
Hot
right?
Pride in August.
Wow.
Yep. Yep.
So we're taking a
We
break
gotta
for the
take-
summer.
Take the summer off. Give everyone a chance to, do something else with your weekends. Go to the lake. Go to the beach. Whatever.
That's right.
Plus, it's so hot out
It
right
is.
in the middle of the summer like that, and everyone's out trying to wear fire suits and be outside all day. Who's on the course? All right, this is Cooper Bentley, and he is kicking off our unlimited class. All right, so the unlimited class obviously is going to be exiting the hillside exiting up the hillside and we just saw from our stock class.
So
The
our
hill, as
unlimited-
always, is way more steep and sketchy coming up out of the Laser Nut Lazy River here.
And I'll add too that the hill that they're climbing is directly behind us. If you can't hear.
Oh yeah, if we're yelling at you guys, that's why.
78384. 78384.
If you didn't hear it, that is a 78384 for Cooper Bentley. We had a couple late entries in this class, so can't tell you for sure who is coming up to the line.
And if you're looking at us, there's a little bit of commotion going on around. I know our ambulance is getting a little bit resituated right next to us.
Okay, it's a really nice day today. It's going to be a beautiful
But
weekend,
it is
man.
a beautiful
We got
day
a lot
here
of stuff coming
at the
up.
Holley EFI Northern Rock Racing Series, race number 2, presented by Venom Shifters.
Coming up next, everybody.
We are
Jan
glad to
Ball's
have
coming up
you
next.
with us. And today, really unique thing. Someone really cool's on the line.
Yeah, he's got a good last name, that's for sure. Chad Molitor is on the line in the Patriot. First time ever racing this buggy. It started out as a kind of just a home project with this is my dad, Chad, for those of you that don't know.
Yes, that was
we
my-
share,
that was my
that's why we have the same last
Okay,
name.
here we go. That's nice.
Started out as a project with a friend a
Get
few
ready to
years
splash around a
ago
little bit down here in the
with
creek.
some leftover, bits and pieces, parts laying around. They finally finished it up. I guess it's probably been like 2 years now. And by the time they
Well,
finished
check out
it,
all these great sponsors we have up on this hillside. Lucas Oil,
Dad was saying
CC Power
it
Sports.
had plenty of power 5 years ago when they
RCV,
started it, but
look at
now
all
it's a
the
little
great sponsors
underpowered
we have
compared
up here.
to
Interstate
the
batteries.
competition these days. So we brought it out for fun today. We wanted to hit the track or the short course later tonight as well, and since we decided to save the Razor
Y'all be careful down there by
from
that
the
fence
stock
and run
class
through this creek.
race
You might see a
earlier,
turtle coming up
and I
here,
was like,
okay?
you know what,
Be
you should take the
careful. We'll
Patriot
down
out,
through
put
there.
it in the unlimited class.
Okay,
Now,
here it
I'll
comes.
tell you this
Going
too.
through the car wash
That-
right here.
Suspension looks like it's working really well.
Nothing runs better than a clean buggy, boys.
Now, one thing about this buggy is it doesn't have jack squat for reverse.
That sounds like it's got a.
So if he gets in a tough spot,
1000,
it's going to be
1000
interesting to see
motor.
how he gets out of it. It is a Honda Blackbird motor. He's giving it everything it's got right now to get it up that hill.
Chad's got it going on.
Now that's front and rear A-arms. It's a
Right.
completely custom setup, the entire
Yes.
thing. I mean, it's really
From
something
scratch.
special.
I guess that'd be a high
And it
boosted
doesn't
motor.
turn
Anybody
real
know?
well. As you can see, he's having a little trouble between the no reverse and not very much for turning. He's in a bit of a tough spot right there. The Patriot is not really made for a course like this. Again, we brought it for the short course tonight, and
Sorry, you have a little bit of problems there.
thought we'd bring it out
There he
here
goes.
just for fun. Put it on the track today, and just do a fun run with it, see what it could do. It's never been raced before.
Come on, Chad. You can get it, buddy.
Man, he is slinging that bad boy left to right. That was impressive. As soon as he got it, just clear of the tree, it was all wide open and all to the floor.
Another great sponsor for that PR.
Very, very cool to see your dad out here.
That's a 123.333 for Chad. A lot of threes.
That's right. I wanted to make sure I heard that right.
Three,
Wayne Square's
three.
another great sponsor this weekend.
Another thing about the Patriot too, we mentioned earlier, is that it is stick shift.
Yeah.
Because of the way it's set up and the motor it has and everything. So it's a bit of a handful.
It's a lot to drive, definitely. I mean, between managing steering, gears, the fact you're on an incredibly steep race course hill. It's no joke. Your dad's a wheelman, hands down. But
we got
I've seen your dad pilot the Avenger buggy for many, many years, and I've seen him race UTVs before.
Let's get him going now.
Him being a really skilled driver is old news. I believe that this is
Alright,
Cash
speaking of skilled
LaCroix.
drivers, this is Cash LaCroix out on the course.
Cash for the
One of the
car,
youngest
here we go.
drivers in the series, but by no means least experienced. Cash put a whooping down on just about everybody in Oklahoma a few weeks ago.
Look at me now, bro.
Blasting through that Laser Nut Lazy River.
He is letting all of those horses run.
We run the heavy foot with him today. Yes, sir. He's got to land on that right foot, doesn't he? All day.
right, Cash wraps up an excellent run.
That is
So,
7.938.
my prediction was that we would have a driver sub 1 minute, and we've got it today. Cash LaCroix, 57.938.
What? All business right there.
That is quite the
business. That was
time
nice
for Cash
run.
to come out and
That's-
set the bar
That
for
is
the
a
rest of the pack
striking
here.
first place.
We got 2 great sponsors this weekend. This whole weekend for birthday bash. Wayne's Players, the Super
All right,
ATV,
looks like
the
y'all
main
answered the
sponsors
question.
this
Jamie
whole
Coldiron
weekend.
has not run yet.
For
We
all
are
upcoming
3
events we
drivers
got
in
going
to
today,
the RCV
the next
Performance
3 days.
UTV Championship Cup presented by CA Technologies, our unlimited class. And we just completed our stock class before this. Your top 3 were Paul Wolf, James Cantrell, and Brandon Davis. And we've now got Travis Skelton on the line running for Christy Hutchins.
That's right.
Travis Skelton's coming up next, race fans.
And speaking of Christy, I have to give a huge shout out. Happy early Mother's Day
Don't
to
forget
all the
tomorrow
moms
morning,
out there.
yeah.
We've got big fans
Good job,
that are
Christy.
moms, and
and
we wouldn't be here without you, and we couldn't do it without you. So happy early Mother's Day to all of you.
Gonna be right here where all
Slinging
you race
some
fans
dirt.
are right now.
My
Starting
goodness.
tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock.
All right, guys, now that we had
UTVs will be
Cash
up
come out and
first,
lay
and then
down
the
that
bouncer cup's gonna be
57.9,
next.
what are we thinking
Tomorrow
is going to be the
at 9
fastest
o'clock in the
time on
morning,
this
right
hill?
here. Great race fan, here comes Travis Skelton right here, guys.
He is
Look
not
at
afraid
all
of
that
water.
water.
Now, if you notice, everybody's coming through a lot slower right there.
Everybody's going far left on that creek bed, too, after watching Wade's real sudden stop in the stock class earlier.
You know, it's pretty amazing. So that hill climb that he did right out of the creek is right behind us, and I could feel and smell the creek water just misting all over us. So if you're curious about how close the production trailer is to the race course, we are within water throw for sure. So very exciting day here, and we are right in the action.
60.812, a great time, not enough to unseat Cash, but these guys, we are going to be seeing some solid times today.
It seems like a minute is going to be the time to beat today.
All right, well, my list says that Jeremy Franklin is up next. That is subject to change, of course. We can't see the starting line from here.
Yeah, one of the unique
And it's hard
things,
to keep up with the 8 people that are on the radios right now.
That's right.
So
That's
y'all,
right.
Y'all have to cut us some slack.
Yeah, today's a little more spread out than normal. I'll say that. Our team here is a little bit more thin, and being across the race course because this is such a large race course. The whole team is everywhere on the hill, so we're happy to have everybody. But yeah, give us a little bit of time between runs here to make sure we have all of our information correct before we say one decision or another.
And this is Jeremy Franklin out on the course. I believe a new driver with us. I don't recognize the name.
That's right.
We got a couple new drivers jumping in this weekend. Always love to see that.
You know, I thought this was a new machine. I had not seen it before because that's a sharp machine, and I would remember it for sure because it's got a really pretty bright neon and obviously very, very clean machine.
ATM green.
Well, that is not the hill that
It looks like you took the wrong course right there.
I believe he had some confusion as to which part of the course to climb the hillside on. Let's see what happens here. Should've gone up right there, right?
Yep, it looks like there was a little bit of miscommunication on the hill in terms of which hill he should be running, so we'll figure out the time situation there.
Now, to be fair, and since I actually walked and ran the course today, I don't usually do that if I'm not going to race, but there's a lot going on this course. There are a lot of hills
busy
because we had the stock class and the unlimited class, and we had 1 and 2 for both of them.
Absolutely. And we have it flagged for the bounty too.
Easy to do that and pick the wrong exit,
Yeah.
especially when it's hard to watch if you've been sitting back in your buggy at the starting line and not watching those in front of you. So what? I don't know. I haven't heard.
Got Dan Carter on the line for us today as we get that wonderful shade start rolling in here. We are
Dan Carter on the line, guys. Dan Carter.
now a little bit of different look for the Rocklife buggy. Happy to see that they've gotten this one all under control. Happy to see Dan Carter piloting that Rocklife Unlimited buggy there. Man, look at that car go. Or buggy, rather.
Looking good. Yeah, we're on the south.
Okay,
That's right.
there we go,
That's
there,
right.
there.
That's how that works,
Look
right?
at number 3, I like it. Rocklife. Woo!
Now it's going to have to be a thing. You just had a good opportunity to see there that Dan has a number 3 on top of his buggy. So from now on, you're going to have to put your 3s up for Danger Dan, and hopefully he'll get that sorted out because a little swung a little too wide and he's over on his lid.
Dan, I know the feeling. I know exactly what that feels like. Dirty turtles. It got me, Paul, and Dan so far.
That's it's like a real turtle. You never know when it's going to strike. You're going to pet the turtle, grab it. Next thing you know, you're
Whoa!
Well, that's not good.
Good save. Good save.
No, Dan. He's over again.
So Dan is trying to exit the course, and he's over again.
Oh no.
Poor guy.
Look, Dan is in the middle of the hillside, and it's a little off camera. Let's just
Now you can see
say that.
there's 5 guys trying to flip him over, and he is in a little bit of a spot there because it has taken every bit of 6 or 7 guys to get him turned back over. But
I just wish you guys could all see Chad Molitor's face right now.
So come on up here, Chad.
Look, Paul
table of shame.
Paul tipped over and Dan tipped over now, so I said I feel better about
Oh man.
tipping Judy over. All right, we were talking about the Patriot a little bit during the race, but tell us how it went for you.
Well, it was experimental. The thing's been sitting in the garage. We ride it around the farm, and I thought, let's give it a try. But no reverse, or kind of a little bit of reverse. Steering is limited, so it needs some help.
That's all right though. I'll tell you this though. Coming around some of those corners when you did get it to where you could go straight, absolutely letting it go.
Plugs out, it'll be all right.
This is a tight course for the issues that it has.
In
I
practice,
saw you got stuck up top. You couldn't back up and you couldn't get off the hillside very well.
Yeah, I did it great in practice. It's like you get a little butterflies or something, and then you miss a corner. So you have to plan ahead because no reverse and half the steering, but
But the buggy's fine. You gonna do hill too?
might as well,
Yeah,
You're here.
We've been talking about the officially unofficial race that we're doing in the short course tonight. So
That's right. We're gonna have a lot of fun doing that. But
that'll be awesome.
I'll tell you what, the buggy looks like once you let it go, it absolutely
On
wants
the
to
track.
eat.
That's what it's made for, is the track.
What we're gonna see tonight.
Yeah, okay, we'll see.
yeah,
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Chad, for coming up
Feels a little
here.
wet.
Yeah,
Buddy.
yeah.
Yeah, how's my hair?
It looks good.
That
Good
creek.
thing I had pull-offs. I was pulling them. They're like
Yeah?
on my
You almost.
goggles.
Well, that's the first time we put them on, isn't it?
Second.
Yeah.
Yeah, they work
Good
nice.
thing you remembered.
Good day to have him.
See.
Good day to have him. Chad Molitor, everybody.
It don't matter to me. Justin, I am not sure. Do you know where the bouncers are running tomorrow?
Yes, I do.
They will be going through the creek as well, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Not as much of the creek as the stock class did, but if you look directly behind my right shoulder, that will be, if I'm not mistaken, that's going to be the UTV line for tomorrow. Just where this yellow flag is. Well, whenever a screen comes back to us, I'll give you guys a better rundown. But I can tell you that hill 1 for the bouncers, it will be more of a speed hill. There's one, I want to say a slight turn in it that'll kind of turn back, and there's a kicker at the top. But hill 2 will be the deciding factor tomorrow for those boys, because they have dug about a 10-foot wall, about 75% away the way up the hill. There's just about an 8 or 10-foot straight wall they've dug out. So hill 2 for the bouncers tomorrow is going to be a show.
All right, this is Brad Obley out on hill 1.
And you make that one turn going around that corner up there, you got to nail it to spin that butt around. We already seen what happens if you don't.
Now, I'll say this too, that front end, 99% chance that when he hit that hill, that front end started ratcheting pretty bad, because for just a fraction of a second, I saw the front wheel on the right, on the passenger side, completely stop, and all the other 3 wheels were going. So it's never a good look when mechanically all the wheels are spinning and then the other one kind of has a delay there. So maybe a little bit of bugs there to work out. Come on up here.
Yeah,
so we've got Mr. Wade Good here right beside the production trailer. First thing I got to ask, are you all right?
Oh, I'm fine.
Dude, how did that feel?
I didn't feel it.
You weren't expecting that,
The
though,
frame
were you?
bent so much it didn't get me.
Yikes.
The whole front bulkhead was at like a 45.
So I know that's the taller part of that ledge in the creek, but I would not have expected it easy there to stop you the way that it did.
I thought I could jump it, but I didn't jump it. It's about 8 inches, and I hit. But we hooked a Jeep to it and straightened it back out. We're gonna run hill 2.
I mean, was this, you hooked it to a winch or you hooked it to a Jeep and it went 30 miles an hour and yanked it back out?
No, I hooked it to a tree and then a Jeep to the front of it and pulled it back out.
Well, that is one way to fix it. But hey, I'm glad to see you're going to be running hill 2. I'm excited.
The gas and brakes like this.
So all you got to do is lift your foot up to hit the brakes.
Don't hit the brake.
Hey, we don't need
Who
brakes.
was riding with you?
Ethan Martin.
Woo! Ethan Martin, I'm sure, will be feeling that here in his run very shortly. On the line, we have Mr. Adam Coots.
Adam Coots. Adam Coots. I said good, I said Coots, and I said Coots. So I got to get one right.
Brad had a time of 6:7.560.
Now, Adam is one of our seasoned drivers here. Always interesting to see Adam run because kind of comes wide open every single time. Like right there, we're seeing.
He just dove down into that laser nut lazy river. Now he actually just took what was supposed to be the stock class.
Talking about guys right there.
That was supposed to be the stock class line for Hill 2.
Watching gas in terms of wheel spinning.
So I don't know how that's going to play out for him or if that's going to factor in at all.
Now, I'll tell you this, just from our views, you know, watching it down here in person, that course is deceivingly slick because, I mean, he's wide open all in the throttle and he's going not very fast. So it just tells you that those tires don't have the traction that you would normally expect.
71.756.
71.756 for Adam. And Carter Sorensen should be on the line now.
Now, I'll tell you this too, Bree, I'm not sure if you're noticing it yet, but we're getting some rain clouds move in on us. It looks like dark clouds are never our friends. So hopefully everything will stay dry for us this afternoon and we can bring you another section of racing. But if it's raining, I'm not sure how the next race will line up here.
Well, we're just going to get wet.
I did not bring a raincoat.
Hey, you're going to get extra wet.
That's right. But I'll tell you that.
Folks.
I told you from when Adam Coots came off the line, you're going to see a show wide open every time. I'll tell you this, like she said, that was the stock line that Adam took to the far left side, hit a tree, and really had to. I mean, that
he just skated across.
Exactly. It's not just the buggy being able to unleash that kind of power, but that's some drivability. It's driver skill right there to pull it all the way over.
I do think that Clyde said in the drivers' meeting where they had changed it from the stock class running the same both times, and that was an
RCV
option
is one of our big
for the
sponsors
limited
also.
drivers could take either hill.
PRP.
I'm not positive on that.
I don't think I'd take it.
So I haven't heard on that, but
Yeah.
he has been the only one so far. All right, this is Cutter Sorensen in Lunch Money.
Lunch Money buggy.
Yeah,
It's an old ORB buggy from the original times of the UTV bouncers, and it's found its way to the Sorensen home and quickly turned into Lunch Money. And Cutter's had a lot of fun driving it this season with a successful completion of one of the harder hills at Wildcat. It was very cool to see him do that.
For those who aren't familiar, Cutter is officially our youngest driver
Ever.
in the sport.
Yeah, excuse me.
Hey, race
Cutter
guys,
actually
check this
finished
out.
both
All you little
hills
guys and gals
at
out
Wildcat.
there, this kid that's running this right here, right now, is 5 years old. 5 years old.
Look at
right
him
here.
go.
This is our future.
He's such a cool little guy too.
Racing.
Every time
Absolutely.
I talk to him,
So
you know, when
young guys and gals out
we're in
here,
the pits,
parents
walking
who want
around,
to,
whatever, just such
let's
a cool
give this
little
guy a
guy.
holler.
Now, I will say this. You'll see that key above his head. That key above his head is for the newly installed fire aid system. So that car is completely built in with fire suppression. Very cool to see them start implementing that. But just with a key turn or just with pulling that cord, Cutter is going to be a safe situation for sure.
5 years old,
Now
All
those
right, now he's in a tough spot right here.
those are also some dig tires. Like if there's ever some that have been there, those will dig a hole in the ground without a doubt.
Somebody would have gave me something like that at 5 years old, I wouldn't be here today now, that's for sure.
Look at him go!
All right.
Cutter getting
Look at
all
him.
kinds of
He
encouragement
getting paid,
from the
getting
crowd
paid,
over
barely
here.
even moved in there. Well, they got him locked in there good.
Great to see Cutter.
He's good.
Yep. All good. You know, it's kind of funny.
We'll get him up here to talk with us.
A little bit of a hard landing there because he landed just don't happen to be on the one rock that was above the entire creek. So hard landing, but stayed out of the water too. So Cutter's nice and dry as well. Big round of applause for Cutter here.
We've got Sarah, his mom, standing over here watching.
So as you can
Can we try to
see,
get Sarah up here?
absolutely.
You got
Sarah.
Dad up here. You're all right.
Yeah.
Let's get you on this hill. We're going to do it again.
Or do you want to watch?
That's
her for a
right.
minute?
So coming back to us.
Good job. Now they're going to put in gear and get him up off that sledge right here and get him back on
Just
some
come
flat
in the middle,
ground.
that'll be good. All right, Sarah. Cutter's 5, right?
He is 5 years
So
old.
how does it make you? What do you feel watching him race?
All right.
I feel like I'm racing. I can't stop shaking, and I get upset in my belly, and you know, he's just trying as hard as he can, and that's really all we can ask for.
How does he feel after a day of racing? Is he super pumped up? Does he get mad or disappointed? You know, if he rolls over or whatever.
He gets really pumped up. He's like, next time I'm gonna do it, Mom, and he keeps doing that. So he gets totally pumped up.
Now, does he get himself prepared, or do you guys have like any kind of like pre-race rituals or anything like that?
Not really. You know, his pre-race ritual, I guess you could say, is playing with the other kids.
Awesome.
We kind of have to pull him away to say, okay, it's time. We've got to get mentally prepared, and then him and Dad go do their thing. I can't do it. So.
I understand.
That's good though. That's how he keeps all the nerves away because he's just out playing.
Yeah. Because he was nervous. We looked at the hills this morning, and he said, those look really tough, Mom. And we said, well, you can do it. And he said, well, I'm going to try my best.
Wow, what a spirit too. I love it. Absolutely love it. Well, we're always happy to have him out here. It's always one of my favorite racers to watch, no doubt.
Well, thanks. He if he comes up here and talks to you guys, he's probably going to bring up his dirt bike race last weekend because he got first place.
Still pumped on that.
Yeah.
Oh, good for him. Is Tim racing tomorrow?
No, he's not. We sent our shut-off box off to get repaired, so
Gotcha.
as soon as we get that back, we'll be ready for UTV as well as big bouncers.
Yeah, we
Awesome.
like seeing the new fire suppression in Cutter's buggy too. The system we were talking about, the little tag that you can see.
Yeah, we actually we borrowed this one because we ordered one for Cutter, and it unfortunately didn't get here in time. So we're actually running Johnny Gibbs, his fire suppression system. I think Tim got it hooked up, and Paul's going.
This is not good for Paul.
Just laying on it. You're talking about how slick it is up on this hill.
And I'll tell you this too. Watch him the rest of this run because he's going to be pissed off without a doubt.
If he didn't already
Paul is so fun to watch.
Just finds the fine line between reckless and balance, or I guess control, I guess, is the other side of reckless, right? But it is so cool. And I'll tell you this too, we had mentioned a little bit about the race after this one, the little short course race. I know that Cutter's brought his dirt bike to come race with us.
He's coming for you.
That's all right. We're ready. We're going to have a great time.
He's been looking at that dirt bike track, or that track for, well, he's 5, so probably 3 years now since we first put him on a dirt bike. And he's like, Mom, there's a track. We're doing it. I'm going to do it. So.
Today is the day. We're going to have some fun.
Yep. Look out.
Trust me, we're ready. I've already told everyone that runs in the unlimited class and or is tagged for Ultra 4, they've got a plus 30 second to their time. So if Cutter doesn't beat me, he may beat everybody else.
You need a plus 30 second?
I don't know about me. We may give Cutter an under 30 second for being on 2 less wheels than everybody else. So, but like I said, always a pleasure to have Cutter up here, and thanks for coming to spend some time with us. We appreciate it.
We appreciate you guys supporting him, and really everybody for that matter.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How could we not?
How could we not?
We love it out here.
That's
we
how
love
we
watching
are.
everybody.
That's right.
Well, thanks for coming up and
All right.
chatting, Sarah. I know
All
you
righty.
want to talk to Cutter.
So,
And the sun's back.
it is, but hopefully that's a good sign for the rain. Do we have a time for Mr. Paul Wolf?
Yes, 70.338 for Paul. Ethan Martin is on the line. Ethan was Wade Goode's passenger earlier, so
he's got the adrenaline going already.
He was pre-gaming.
I'm gonna imagine
Pre-racing? I don't know.
that having
Something.
both work in this scenario. But I'm going to imagine that getting your nerves jolted up like that before you race, it might be a good thing.
Well, Wade said it was Ethan in there with me. Couldn't you hear him laughing?
If you laugh at something like that,
good time today, guys.
yeah.
Woo, look at that.
This is tunnel vision, and we always like to note about this tunnel that it's glow in the dark.
So cool. Those Super Grip ATV tires are swinging the mud today.
Made a good turn. Good run up the hill there.
Uh-oh. Nice save.
So where the drivers are coming across and then having to turn left and go up the top of the hill.
Awesome job.
Super off-camber spot.
What a great run by Ethan Martin. And really, I mean, I hope that you guys are getting to see it, it's translating over into the video. But that hill coming out of the creek is getting wet and slick, and all the dirt and mud off the top of it is getting thrown off, and a lot of rock is getting exposed in that climb. It is getting pretty gnarly.
Ethan had a time of 66.945. Let's do a quick rundown. Cash, man, still sitting at the top with a 57.9, followed by Travis Skelton with a 60. Oh, you have the laptop. You do this.
Of course.
You're sitting here watching me struggle.
I was just going to let you go until you wanted to pass it over. So our current top 5 as of right now, and as always, when we conclude for today, I'll read all the times for the drivers. In first place right now, we have Cash LaCroix. And if you don't mind, double check my times here.
Yep.
Cash LaCroix with a 57.938. Christy Hutchins, which was run by Travis Skelton, is a 60.8. Ethan Martin just ran a 66.9. Brad Abel with a 67.5. Obley, excuse me. Paul Wolf with a 70.3.
Okay, we got
Adam Coots with a 71.7. Cooper Bentley with 78.3, and then Chad Molitor with 123.3. So there is our top 8. So all the drivers. We're about halfway through our list here.
And we did have 2 DNFs. Dan Carter had a rollover, and Jeremy Franklin unfortunately took a wrong turn.
And I'll add this too. Wild man off the line, DC Thompson.
I gotta give them another question here in just a minute. I'll walk
All
over
right,
and get you
DC
guys.
Thompson is on the course. You never really know what's going to happen when DC's out here. Busting through that rad flow suspension section.
It's looking good so far.
Okay, here we go. Look at him, boys. Wide open.
Just totally letting her eat. Climb this hill.
Tires are hooking, mud is being thrown. It is wild out here today at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park.
This is going to be a good time. $68.259.
68.259. Good job.
I think now that this hill it's
Okay, over here
just
behind
so
me.
slick. We've got
What racing
this
series is
slick
this
mud
today?
and it's getting the water's getting
What is
dragged
the
up from
racing
the
series
creek.
that we're doing here today?
Beating Cash's what,
If you can't
57?
get this
You're gonna have to be on rails.
I'm telling you right
That's
now.
gonna be tough.
Gonna
No,
have
what's
to
the
be on
series?
absolute rails.
What is the series? There you go. Come back over here.
Man,
There you go. It's right there on the trailer.
I believe that Tim Cameron is on the line.
There's a vending trailer all over
I
there.
was just thinking if there's going to be somebody that's going to give Cash a run for his money, it'll be Tim Cameron. But obviously, Tim Cameron runs a 72-inch wide Turbo S buggy. I think he's going to have some issues here today. I've said that before, you know, width sometimes is a factor. But if there's going to be a course where width is a factor, it's going to be something with these tight turns and this narrowness.
Cameron's on the line.
Cash LaCroix obviously running a 64-inch machine. And like I said, Tim Cameron in a 72. We'll see how it goes.
Well, we do still have Wade Good, Brandon Davis, Jamie Colon. We got lots of names still to go.
It's true.
We are about
Tim
halfway
Cameron
through
on the line,
with
race
our
fans. Here we go.
RCV Unlimited class here today at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park.
This will be like the rides at Six Flags when it comes through here. You might get wet. if
This
you're
is
standing
the
right
Holley
here.
EFI Northern round number 2, presented by Venom.
There we go, race fans. Tim Cameron right there.
At Tim Cameron Green leaves the start line. Woo! Going a little wide. Nope, not really, but man, it's crazy. He just slings that car around, and it's really those guys that are excellent drivers. You can just see the control on the car is really something special.
UTV going to be right here for round 1.
Man, just
Johnson's going to be round 1 also. We got Austin
Into the
race.
Laser Nut Lazy River.
Oh man, he's
ATM all day.
engine issues. Severe engine issues. The entire engine just cut out on it. Wow. For about, I don't know, 2 or 3 seconds there, that engine was,
It was the water.
it's possible.
I don't know. That was unexpected.
It's like bad fuel got injected for just a few seconds. Man, you hate to see that kind of thing happen, you know, right when you need the power, right at the bottom of a hill, you have some kind of weird fuel engine issue. But I can tell you for sure that foot was on the ground. The engine was just not having it.
All right, we are waiting to hear
He
Tim's
must have got something
time.
a little bit wet down there on his engine coming down through there and cause that.
Now, it is a possibility here that Tim hit a flag. I will say that he did make contact with the flag. However,
Yep.
in our race organization,
RCV flag right here.
if the flag is moved more than 40, you know, to a 45-degree angle, if it's lower than the 45-degree angle, it is considered down.
Yeah.
And it looks like that's going to be what happened here with Tim Cameron. We are still getting confirmation actually on a final time. There is some discussion in terms of the flag issue.
Alright, so the ruling is no flag penalty. 71.603 is Timmy's time. More or less a tree that he hit with his tire is what knocked the flag over.
Yep, there was a little bit of clarification there that seemed like there was a tree that was the issue rather than just direct contact with the flag.
Casey Howell's on the line.
Alright, so 71.603 for Tim Cameron, and Casey Howell is on the line.
So while we're waiting here for Mr. Casey Howell to take off, we have Mr. Cutter Sorensen. Cutter, how you doing, buddy? That was a little bit of a hard roll.
Yeah.
You feel okay?
Yeah, it just gave me a little headache.
A little bit of a headache? Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that, man. But you did a great job climbing the hill. What'd you think about before you got on the race course and you got to climbing it? Were you worried about anything?
Hill 2.
Hill 2? You a little worried about Hill 2? Are you having fun, though?
Yeah.
Let me ask you this. Have you been in a dirt bike race recently?
Yeah, and I got first place.
You got first? That's amazing.
And I got something to tell you funny.
You got something to tell me?
Subway was a sponsor.
Subway was a sponsor of your race? That's pretty cool.
Wow, big stuff, buddy.
And we went to Subway.
That's really cool. That's awesome.
Hey, we have Casey Howell out racing on the course right now. Want to watch him with us? See what he does? That's the spot that you had trouble in. That's a tough spot there, isn't it?
Yeah, because there's like slippery stuff.
It's very slippery coming up out of that
Look
creek.
on my finger.
Oh, no.
I was climbing on that hill that you did last year.
Yeah.
That one with the concrete.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little wire rope thing. I was climbing up it, but then there's a piece of wire sticking out.
Oh, it poked you.
So it looks like Casey Howell's going to pull off due to a broken front end or front end's not engaging, whatever the facts may be. But Cutter, are you racing tomorrow?
No, because I broke it really bad.
Okay. Okay, gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're okay, and I'm looking forward to having you race with us this afternoon. You're going to have fun this afternoon with us?
Well, I'm going to ride my dirt bike.
I'm excited for you. It's going to be a really great time.
I'm going to ride my dirt bike on that track they got us here.
That's awesome.
All right, Casey Howell is not giving up. He decided to try a different line on this hill.
And that four-wheel drive is definitely working.
Flip. What if backside he's going to flip?
That's a little tough one.
I already know he's going to flip.
I'm not so sure.
Told you.
It definitely looks like he's in a...
His left front wheel is not turning. He's got 3 wheels.
All right, so we're getting confirmation that it looks like Casey has a broken front driver's side front axle there, and it looks like he's running the 3-wheel peel, and it looks like it's just not working out for him here.
My friends are over there.
All right, Cutter, thanks for coming up here, buddy. Have fun. Yeah, I feel like I bring it up every race, especially in the really get the machine going up the hill. And Casey Howell is showing us that even with 3-wheel drive and a lot of heart, these hills are tough when you've only got 3-wheel drive.
He's got 25 seconds left.
If there's somebody that's got heart, it's him. He is really.
Can he finish the course?
Who's fast hunt?
3-wheel peel right there.
Ash got a 57.
Come on, Casey.
You're in the mix.
What's that put me? Forward? Third.
Put you in third too, bad. So we've got Ethan Martin here as Casey's pulling off of the race course here. If you got to come check your time, I'm going to get you here. Yeah. So obviously you got a little wet. I can tell your race suit's a little damp there.
Yeah.
How was the race course?
Wet. Running through the dang creek for 100 yards.
How's your neck after that ride with Wade Good?
It wasn't bad. I think the front end kind of took up all the cushion there, and it smashed the front end, and we didn't really feel nothing. Kind of like an airbag.
It just crumpled back in there, and you guys didn't even.
Yeah,
it's pretty amazing.
I seen it coming too. I'm like, he's gonna turn. He's gonna turn. He's got to. And then I was like, oh no! And he heard me say it before we hit. It's probably on the GoPro. I said, oh no! And it goes smash.
Yeah, it was abrupt. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I'll say that. This climb right here obviously is getting kind of wild for some guys.
It's really slick. I looked at it when we were pre-running and stuff like that, and it doesn't look that slick. It doesn't look that hard, but I had it flat on the mat all the way out the top. Granted, my belt was slipping because I don't have a belt box. Dumb decision on my part. I didn't know that we were going through a dang mud bog. But, yeah, so it was slipping, but made it.
Let me ask you this. Do you think it's the water getting pulled up from the creek, or is the hill just still damp?
This mud at Dirty Turtle is some of the weirdest, slickest, nastiest mud that you will get. And it's probably, running over it and getting wet. And the more people run over it, it gets wetter and slicker. And it's super tacky when it's really dry. But any little bit of water just makes it wetter than hell.
You're exactly right, though. It's so deceiving. I mean, the entire way up the hill, guys are, to the floor, and they're not going anywhere.
I looked at it, and I was like, man, why? Their tires not aired down enough, or what? And then I hit it, and I was like, God, it is that slick.
What are you going to do for Hill 2? Any changes, anything like that? You going to find you a belt box?
No.
Send it.
Run belt boxes. I hadn't put one on since I put my clutches on. So.
Well, there you go. Hey, perfect way to keep your clutches nice and clean.
That's right.
Is just get a little bit of water on there. Yes. But I'll tell you this: you're sitting comfortably in third place right now.
Oh, good.
So
I love Dirty Turtle. It's my favorite part. So,
well, thanks for coming up here, Ethan. We'll catch up later with you.
All right, this is Daniel Callahan out on the course now. Casey Howell did give himself a time.
That hill's getting wet, boys.
241.298 for Casey Howell.
Daniel Callahan is letting it party on this hill. It looks like that'll be it.
Nice. Way to stick with it.
Can you give us the time one more time for Casey Howell?
241.298 for Casey Howell. Speaking of stick with it, man.
Yeah,
Casey
no
did a
doubt.
great job.
Man, I'm gonna have to go get on that hill myself because it is absolutely soaked. It just doesn't look like it should be that slick up there.
It's deceiving for sure.
All right, as Daniel exits the race course, we'll get a time for him and an excellent run for sure.
113.599.
113.519, 113.519.
Next up should be Mr. Tyler Heinzel, regular with us here. I think he's been at every single race this year.
We got Cutter Sorensen right here. The 5-year-old was in that side by side right there. How much fun is that?
It's really fun.
I love listening to get the chance, or getting the chance to listen to Cutter talk.
But it kind of made
One of my favorites.
I never got a headache. I hear you. So let me ask you something. What do you got to tell all these other young kids out here, guys and girls?
All right, guys, we've got about half a dozen drivers left to go here for Hill 1. This is the RCV Unlimited class presented by CA Technologies. And then we will be rolling on in Hill 2 for our Rocklife stock class. And then back to the Unlimited class.
Hey.
So far, Cash LeCroy with a 57.9. Still hanging on to the fastest time right now in Hill 1.
That's what's about.
I don't know if that's going to change as slick as this hill is now.
It's going to take the perfect run from the bottom. I think there's room for error at the top, but from the bottom you're going to have to nail it. Now, I need to say this too. I need to give a shout out to Aaron Presley for holding the seat down for me while I had a few weeks off here. Now, I told Aaron I had a gift for him, and my gift was actually a mullet wig. And I had it, and I forgot to bring it.
Oh, no.
So I feel bad.
I don't think that Aaron actually is going to make it this weekend. So you just hang on to that.
That's right. Next time.
It'll still be a very special treat. All right, this is Tyler Heinzel.
That's how you do that. I love the smell of race fuel, and we are just getting that race fuel blasted at us.
It's like those water misters with the fan on them.
Yeah.
That, you like hold in your hand and mist yourself.
Yeah, it smells like a theme park water ride. You know, like if you've ever been on like the Pirates of the Caribbean where you go underneath everything and it's water. It's like that half chlorine, half. I think the smell that they call it flume is the name of the smell, and it's got a pretty funny smell for sure. But love that smell of race fuel getting blasted at us here at Dirty Turtle Off-Road Park.
67.900 for Tyler Heinzel.
Good job.
Great time.
What a course we have here
And
this
I believe
weekend.
we've got Tyler Bradley up next. Again, we can't see the starting line from our spot here in the trailer.
I have to say, if you're coming tomorrow, the perfect seats might be right up there. There's so the really cool thing about Dirty Turtle is I believe so.
So somebody asked what hill is this? I believe we are across from what is Bobby's Hill, and there's like a concrete wall.
I'll tell you this: the top of that hill right there, that is madness. That is absolute madness up there.
I didn't see that.
Yeah. So yeah, you see, there's a there's a kid climbing the concrete wall actually right now.
Wall that looks a lot like Bikini Bottom's concrete wall.
Absolutely.
We're racing across from that. If you're familiar with the park, there you go. That's the best I can give you.
Yeah, I just seeing these hills in person though, they're a next level of gnarly for sure. But we have Tyler Bradley in the Black Widow buggy on course, blasting through the creek, and we'll see him come around the corner just shortly.
Here we go.
Tyler Bradley just getting soaked.
Woo, look at that, boys.
That laser nut, lazy river strikes again.
You can see the water just pouring off of them when they get right at the bottom. I don't see how in the world they can even see.
Nice.
You know, we're doing good. I just can't exactly tell. Travis, is that hill getting slicker or is it getting stickier as the races go on? Because it seems
it's getting slicker.
It is getting slicker.
Because there ain't hardly no dirt on it. You're just on top of the rock all the way up through there.
The last two drivers have really done an excellent job of using momentum to get up that hill.
This guy get me here? Ethan get me?
Good save, good save.
Heck yeah, I got my new fire suit. It's good luck today.
I need one of those too. I'm just glad that mine still fit today. They don't make 87.816.
You racing with us after this?
No, because I'm just racing Christie's just for this race.
No, I'm talking about the short course.
No, I'll come out here and watch y'all. I'll come have a beverage.
There you go. Yeah, we could use some help with timers and safety and all that kind of fun stuff too.
I did tell Christy she should. I was trying to tell her she should race.
Sorry, that was
or ride with me.
Yeah.
On the track, just
hey.
for fun,
Well, their little daughter has a fever. She's cutting teeth, so they just have to go back up to the bus.
Man, that's rough.
She was
not feeling too well.
Snuggles earlier.
Yeah.
Man, you hate to hear that.
Yes, you seen that, didn't you?
Yeah, come on, jump on in this picture. Jump on in here.
Loud down here because you were down at the bottom. That's what I was told.
Is that Garner? Tell him I'll get his clutches to the Clyde. I haven't given to him yet.
There you go, Zach.
The invisible trowel. There he is, Travis Skelton, up at the production booth just to stop and say hello with us. On the line is Mr. Brandon Davis.
Hey! I was looking at him like walking by.
Yeah. Yeah, Brandon says you don't take it easy. I don't think so. All skinny pedal.
Brandon, of course, has two nicknames.
Brandon Davis, race fans, there we
He's
go.
known as
Brandon
Cheryl's
Davis.
husband, and we also do call him Captain Consistency.
That's right.
Because we know we can rely on him for solid, fast, smooth runs. Oh, and he's flinging mud, so he might get a new name in just a second.
I think that was
He just
I think that was
got
a
us all the way in the trailer.
face.
All the drivers talking about how
Besides
slick
being
this
all
hill
wet,
is.
now they're digging up sod.
It's just getting worse and worse.
I mean, whew. By the time we get done running this right here,
Brandon's going to go over and try the other route up this hillside.
Look at there, just launching right up
Oh,
there.
into a tree.
Now,
I should have saved my consistency remarks for later.
but I'll tell you this, Brandon is one of the best drivers we have out here, and to see him having these kind of issues with this hill, I mean, it should just put it into perspective on how difficult this course is evolving.
Good job. Way to go, Brandon.
So again, that was the potential stock class line too. So glad to see that the stock guys are not running that, because it would be a heck of a different show.
Let's see where I ended up.
Let me sort it for you here. There you go, brother.
130129.
Yes, sir. Come
Okay.
anytime.
So who right here? Who can tell me first?
130129 for
I'm
Brandon
gonna give
Davis.
something away real quick. Who's our two main sponsors?
I think we should have Chief Cold Iron, Jamie Cold Iron, on the
There you
line
go. That
running
was
for
easy,
Clint
wasn't it?
Garrison.
She's got a free T-shirt.
We had him up here chatting with us earlier. If you missed it,
Oh, hey! It's in the Jeep. War.
all right, guys. We have just a couple
All
drivers
right.
left before we wrap up the unlimited class Hill 1.
See if I got another.
And I'm thinking we're going to move pretty seamless. Are we going to take a break for Hill 1 and Hill 2?
We usually don't take much of a break on Fridays.
I didn't think so. We're going
See what
to
happens.
pretty much run seamlessly into the next, I believe.
Up there.
All right, this is
Interstate Battery,
Jamie
Lucas Oil,
Coldiron
Yukon.
running for Clint Garrison.
RCV, dumpster service right
Clint
there.
Garrison had a
CC Power
graduation
Sports.
to attend today, it sounded like.
His girlfriend is graduating nursing school.
There you go.
So congratulations to Savannah.
Through that rad flow suspension section, no problem. Now, Jamie was telling us that this is a very Okay, Jamie just bounced a piece of mud off my head. We can talk about that later. Jamie was talking to us about how this is a very capable buggy, but a little bit of a tight squeeze for him. Glad to see he made it in there all right.
Yeah, he's letting it go. That's for sure. And it seems like as the day continues to go on, we are progressively being hit with more.
418.
Holy smokes.
418. Good job, Jamie.
58.141
Wow.
for Jamie
Quick.
Cold Iron.
Quick boy.
That's a second place time right there.
It will.
He got real close
Let's get
to
something out now real
Cash's
quick.
57.9.
Unfortunately, that bumps Mr. Ethan Martin off the podium.
Let's see, what else can we give away?
I gotta gotta say, I wasn't expecting a time like that at this point in the game with as slick as that hill is. But Jamie threw mud all the way over here to the production trailer because it bounced off my head. I know a big old piece of it did. So those tires were hooking and digging, as Steve Howell would say.
Absolutely, and you're going to need it today. I'm hopeful that we still have a couple of drivers left, and in particular, Justin Mitchell's on the line right now, and we have Mr. Wade Good shortly following. Wasn't sure if they were what they were gonna do for him. He was blank.
All right, this is Justin Mitchell.
Taking a boat ride there.
I don't believe I've seen this.
I don't think so either. At least not with this paint scheme. But I will say this: I have figured out how the hill is getting so wet. So when Justin was climbing that hill, when he was about 3/4 the way up, there was water pouring off his skid plate. So all of that water that's getting accumulated into the in the creek when they're coming up 100 yards worth of creek, it's all sitting on the skid plate because they're flat. And then as soon as he hits the hill, all that water is rushing off his skid plate and pouring all over the hill. So they're pulling, it's not just the bottom where they're splashing water onto the hill, but they're dragging water the whole way up.
See, she said it wrong. I knew she was going to.
All right, that was a 5.9.260 for Justin Mitchell. Another smoking fast time. That's a third place time.
Wow. I asked Travis if he thought this hill was getting faster or slower. He said it's getting slower for sure, but I don't know if it looks that way.
All right, so your top three right now: Cash LaCroix with a 57, Jamie Coldiron with a 58, and Justin Mitchell with a 59. We've got Wade Good still to go, and then I think that will wrap up Hill 1 for the Unlimited class. Yes.
It definitely should.
Just confirmed. Wade will be our last driver for Hill 1 Unlimited class, and we will be rolling over into the stock class. Not sure what kind of break we'll be taking yet. I'll let you guys know.
Now I just got chills hearing that Wade's going to run because he can really shake up that top 5, top 6,
Now that we've seen it's doable to still lay down a time like that, even though this hill is chewed up and slick.
Now, the question is, do you think he's gonna run the wall in the creek, or is he gonna go to the left and just totally miss the wall?
I think he's gonna go to the left this time.
I'd have to say that he's a little more wise this time around.
Don't get the guy on the microphone. He's over there. What'd you say?
So far, so good.
That's right.
Wade having to flip up his visor there. Alright, he went ahead and chose that far left, what was going to be the stock class line, instead of fighting his way up the real straight line.
And I could be wrong, but I don't think that this run is looking like a top 3 shakeup.
I don't think so. It's going to be a good time, but I don't think it's going to shake up this top 3.
So as we watch Mr. Wade Good cross the finish line, we will get a confirmed time. But again, I will say that I'm
67.834, 67.834.
67.834. Our top 3 for Hill 1, Cash, Jamie, and
Jamie running for
Justin
Clint
Mitchell.
Garrison.
Yes, Jamie Coldiron running for Clint Garrison, and then Justin Mitchell. We had 57, 58, and 59 from those guys.
Now, we were talking a little bit earlier about how you wish you had a tank top. It is cold. It has officially turned to cold. The rain clouds are rolling in, and I think we might get a little bit of water action.
Say that, we still have a short course race to do tonight.
I'm the one putting it on. I don't want to be in the rain. So trust me,
one way or another.
It will. It will.
I don't know what's happening with my hair right now.
I thought we was having an auction on the phone there.
But I'm gonna run through our top 10 real quick here for Hill 1 and the Unlimited. Starting with first place, we have Cash, Clint Garrison, Justin Mitchell, Christy Hutchins, a.k.a. Travis Skelton, Ethan Martin, Brad Abell, Wade Good, Tyler Heinzel, D.C. Thompson, Paul Wolf, Tim Cameron, Adam Coots, Cooper Bentley, Tyler Bradley, Daniel Callahan, Chad Molitor, Brandon Davis, and Casey Howell.
We got t-shirts and stuff over here. We're extra large. What's up, buddy?
I'm getting word that we're likely to take a break between Hills 1 and 2, just a brief break. So bear with us as we get a verification on that.
Come on, guys. Y'all got to holler and scream. Give me a 1, 2, 3 holler and scream. 1, 2, 3. And guess what? Tomorrow morning.
All right, guys. Well, we don't know yet.
Tomorrow morning.
Are we staying on or cutting off? All right, we're cutting off.
I've got a lot of great things to give away tomorrow.
I went ahead and did a
rundown. It's very hard to hear.
It is. I did the top 10 for the Unlimited, and I'll do a quick wrap up of the stock class.
I can give you top 3 for stock class.
That'll be perfect.
Paul Wolf, followed by James Cantrell, and then Brandon Davis are your top 3. The Rocklife stock class, Hill 1. We're going to take a short break. It's not going to be a big long one, but we got to move some tape around. And then we will be back to wrap it all up with Hill 2 for both classes.
Thanks for joining us. We will be back in just a moment.